welcome to Sakura Angels, which, if you know the Sakura series, you know what type of game this is gonna be. So, this is my favorite out of all the ones that I've played, and I decided I would do a video on it. I tried to, if my voice sounds a bit raspy, that's because that I tried to record this once before, and I did this really like Batman voice for the entire beginning of it, and then the music was too loud, so I've turned it down now, and yeah. All right. Gonna do the deep voice again just because. Every night, I have the same dream. Every night, I'm always brought back to this place without fail. And then every morning, I'll wake up with no memory of this place at all until the next time I fall asleep. How I remember it is completely unknown to me. Not a single night has went by without my consciousness being dragged into this abyss. This realm is devoid of light, so much that I can't even see my hand in front of my face, no matter how desperately I wave it. The concept of sound is just as absent, my steps silent, and my distressed cries swallowed by the bordering darkness as quickly as they left my mouth. I'm in a bleak, barren wasteland of nothingness. Spending any prolonged amount of time here begins to make me doubt even my own existence. Yet, despite feeling suffocated by a striking absence of anything, I know I'm not alone. Something is watching me, stalking me from the shadows. I can't say for sure what it is, but every once in a while I'll catch a sight of something from the corner of my view. A pair of burning, bright eyes fixated purely on me. They hate me, despise me. There's an overwhelming sense of animosity radiating from whoever they belong to. I know they want nothing more than to lash out and attack me, but something is holding them back. A force they truly despise. Invisible chains that bind and restrict them from one thing that is on their mind. At first, when I began dreaming about this place, the eyes were distant like glimmering stars. With each passing night, the eyes seemed to inch ever closer and shine ever brighter. I think whatever force has been holding them from me is beginning to fade. What will happen with these eyes reach me? I shudder to think. I know it's just a dream, so I shouldn't be afraid. But everything I experience here is so vivid. None of the usual murky haze that shrouds such dreamlike environments seems to exist here at all. I have perfect clarity. I can feel the stagnant, freezing air all around me, enough to incite a shiver out of me every once in a while. Why won't I wake up? This voice is absolutely horrible for me. Since I'm so used to this dream, I know how it will end. I'll wade through the darkness for what seems like an eternity, never finding anything until morning finally comes and pulls me out of this nightmare. At least, that was how it usually ended. Something is different tonight. Those hateful, burning eyes that always kept me just outside before, I'm suddenly confronted by them. Never before have they been so close. Never before have I stared straight back into them. Their narrowed, piercing gaze roots me to the spot, and shooting pain surges through me. I can't move. I can't breathe. And then, up from out of the darkness, a crooked smile spreads, just as sinister as the eyes. So close. I can practically taste the freedom. It won't be long now. Enjoy the peace while you can, boy, for your days are numbered. And then everything shall change. Finally, I woke up. My head is killing me. These morning migraines are the worst. Every morning, without fail, I always wake up to a sensation not unlike my skull being pounded by a jackhammer. Thump, thump, thump. It's almost like a heartbeat. I feel like my head is going to split open.
It's weird though, because even though the pain is so intense, it never lasts long. In the space it takes me to get up and head for school, the pain is usually reduced to just a dull throb at the back of my skull by then. The first time I read that sentence, I thought that it was grammatically wrong, but then I read through it again and just realized it was just English being weird again. So it isn't too much of a hassle in the grand scheme of things, but it certainly isn't a fun way to wake up. I just find it odd how consistent it seems to be. Anyway, enough pondering these weird mysteries. It's time to tackle the day. After a moment of wrestling with my blanket, I swing my legs around and drag myself out of bed. A quick look at my bedside clock tells me it's still early. Too early. If I had it my way, the world wouldn't start until at least a good way into the afternoon. But sadly, life just isn't that wonderful. Pulling back the curtains to let the light flood into my room, I suppress the urge to let out a hiss, almost blinding myself in the process. Too bright. The rest of my time getting ready is spent fighting with my uniform, a tie becoming all the more problematic to put on when you're half asleep. God, I think I've actually got my hand stuck in it. You'll just have to deal with a raspy voice for the rest of the video. Almost choking myself to death in the most pathetic fight ever, I finish putting on the tie, the rest of my uniform complying peacefully with me. Unable to find a comb, I settle for just flattening my hair down with my hands. Blinking into a mirror, I'm left staring back at someone with messy black hair. It's close enough. Somewhat dressed and somewhat ready, I stumble out of my room, my legs still not fully awake. Something I would like to comment on though. The backgrounds in this game are absolutely beautiful. Like, seriously. I've played a few games like this, and these are the best ones of them all. I'm greeted by silence. The kitchen is empty. A familiar scene for me. My parents are what you might call workaholics. Basically, they spend more time at their respective jobs than they ever do here. I only ever get to catch them during the evening while we're eating, and then everyone is off to bed and the cycle repeats. Don't get me wrong, I understand why they have to work in order to keep us living comfortably, so I don't hate them for it. It just gets, I don't know, lonely? Ah well, there's no use moping about it. It's been like this for years, so I don't know why I was getting all emotional about it now. The plus side of them not being around is that I quickly had to learn how to cook for myself. It's amazing how fast you can adapt to that sort of stuff when you're starving. I don't think I have enough time for anything fancy to eat for breakfast, so I'll just settle for toast. You can never go wrong with toast. Okay, you might be able to go wrong with toast. I have sudden traumatic flashbacks to when the toaster erupted into flames. Ah, what a day that was. But I've learned from my mistakes now. It won't happen a third time. Having devoured the only slightly charred toast, I sling my bag over my shoulder before starting for the front door. I give the empty house one last look over before opening the front door. It's kind of depressing to have no one to say goodbye to. But again, this has been the same for every weekday morning since forever ago. The sun is shining high in a cloudless sky, birds are chirping overhead, waves of students are passing by, happily chatting with one another as they all make their way to school. It's all so horrible. I'm not much of a morning person, so I can't even begin to fathom how everyone can be so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed right now. I mean, it's taking all of my willpower just to be able to put one foot in front of the other without just crumpling to the ground. I just have to hope the breakfast kicks in and gives me the energy I need before I'm forced to literally drag myself through the school gates. While keeping my head down and eyes glued to the ground as I soldiered on, I suddenly noticed that the vibrant atmosphere from before is gone. Silence has completely taken over. My step's the only thing making any noise. The air is still. Huh. That's a bit strange. Bringing my head up, I'm met with an unsettling sight. The street is deserted. No students, no cars, and even the cheerful chirping of the birds is gone. What? I hurry on forward, hoping to at least run into somebody. Anyone. Even the sun's once golden rays seem muted, the world tinged in dreary tones. But there still isn't a cloud in the sky. Okay, this is definitely starting to freak me out. I need to just... A splitting pain shoots through my head, stopping me in my tracks. Like a steering poker being thrust through my skull. A headache? Now? Nothing is making any sense. Desperately trying to keep myself upright as I clutch a hand to my head, I stagger forward. Unlike the headaches from before that gradually died down, this one only seemed to be getting worse. Thump. 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 It won't stop at all. I'm brought to my knees. I can hardly even think straight, my head threatening to explode at any moment. And then, through gritted teeth and a pained expression, I see it. Something that shouldn't exist. It clearly does, as confirmed by my own terrified eyes. A monster. That's the only word that can come to my scrambled mind. A hulking, grotesque mass of flesh with gnarled fangs and red, slitted eyes seething with hate. The closest thing I can relate it to would be a dog, but no dog I know of is 3 times the size of me, its form practically eclipsing the sun. It snorts with flared nostrils, something like steam being exhaled out. Given its tense stance and the fact it's blocking my way, I can only assume it's here for me. But why? What the hell is it? Where did it come from? Why does it want me? A million and one questions race through my head, but I doubt I'm going to get any answers from this thing. There's only one thing I can do when presented with such odds, and that is to stand my ground. Obviously, because you wouldn't want to run away from that. Of course. I don't know what the hell that this thing is or why it suddenly appeared before me, but I'm not going to let it take me down without a fight. Ignoring the pain that threatens to consume my skull, I straighten myself up and stare right back into the hateful eyes of the beast. And then, tightening a fist, I lash out like lightning, my fist connecting with its head, cleanly in a solid impact. Take this, foul beast. Wham. Okay, no. Bad idea. That did nothing. In fact, it looks even angrier than it did before now. All I've managed to do is bruise my own fist. I hope that I haven't broken anything. I reel back from my brutal attack, giving the fist in question a good shake. It still stings. How? Now what do I do? My blazing surprise attack was met with complete indifference, and now I think it's too late to run, as the creature is gearing itself up for a charge, its front leg digging into the ground. This might have been a mistake. I try to turn tail and begin running, but the beast kicks off of the ground straight toward me. There's nothing else I can do. I brace myself as best I can for the inevitable bone-shattering impact. Right before the beast can connect with me and bring my life to a grisly end, a dazzling, radiant light floods my vision, engulfing both me and the monster. The beast stops in its tracks, a guttural cry escaping it before it vaporizes before my eyes. What the hell just happened? Let me take care of the creepy voice. Jeez, that was a close one. Are you alright? A cheerful voice chirps. A welcome sound after the terrors of that thing. Don't talk to him. We have to leave before... And then another voice that's less cheerful. In fact, they sound angry more than anything. light soon fades, revealing my saviors. Though, this is definitely the last thing I was expecting. Two girls, roughly my age, stand before me. I blinked several times before I scrubbed at my eyes, hoping things might make a little more sense. This can't be real. I'm having trouble believing these girls are actually standing before me than I did the monster. Wielding weapons and costumes taken straight out of a fantasy book, it's all a bit much for my brain to attempt to process. What the heck was that? A shadow! The more cheerful of the two simply says that to me. Her stance relaxing some. Is that supposed to explain everything? I glanced down at my feet where my own shadow stretches, but the girl bursts into a giggle. Not your own shadow, silly. That thing we just took care of, which you're welcome for, by the way, is what we call a shadow. The physical manifestation of all the hatred and negative emotions that might lurk in one's heart. Normally they're not so aggressive or behaving. He was really out for you. We're usually pretty good at nabbing them before they get to you, but this one completely took us by surprise. I'm happy we got here in time. You're not hurt, are you? No, I'm fine, but as if things weren't bad enough that we had to reveal ourselves to him, now you're just casually blabbing away things that no normal person should have the right to know. Have you lost your mind? I'm cut short by the more aggressive looking of the pair. His expression had grown darker and darker as the cheerful one had spoken. Looking like she's unable to take it anymore, she exploded, causing both of us to jump. Aw, but he looks so confused. And now that you've seen one of the shadows firsthand, don't you think it's just a little too late for us to quietly step back into the shadows? Her eyes narrow into a frightening glare. It's clear she isn't happy, but I don't think she has anything to counter that. See? You worry too much. But will you tell him what he needs to know? Nothing more, nothing less. The upbeat girl brings her attention back to me, a sparkle in her eye. Right, so, Kenta, where were we? Wait. How do you know my name? Huh? Oh. Oops. She puts a hand to her mouth as if to try to take back the words. The questions continue to pile up, and I still haven't gotten any answers. You idiot! Whap. The serious one wraps her fist against the other's head, who sticks her tongue out in a sort of tee-hee, my bad kind of way. So you guys know me. I've never seen them in my life. And given how they look, I definitely think I would have remembered them. Well, we don't know you personally, but we've been watching over you for a while now. You've become quite the point of interest recently, you know. Me? What the heck did I ever do to get so much attention? As far as I know, I'm just an average student who lives an average life, doing average things. But after this, I guess I can't really call my life average anymore. Can't really go into details because, you know, top secret and all, but let's just say it's not in our best interest for you to fall into the wrong hands. You wouldn't believe how much effort we've been putting into keeping you safe, you know. Actually, I'm kind of relieved we finally get to meet, so you can finally appreciate all our hard work. She beams at me, leaning in perhaps just a little bit too close. Hey, he's throwing so much at me here that I can hardly think straight. Just who the heck are you guys? She falls deep into thought, her nose scrunching up. I guess she's choosing her words carefully as to avoid another brutal assault from her partner. Think of us as your guardian angels, okay? Saying that, she gives her bow a flourish and it shatters between her fingers. Moments later, the shattered pieces of the bow begin to gather behind her, the shards piecing back together rapidly until they form a pair of wings on her back. The wings, while not strictly attached to her, at least seem to function as they sway in the breeze and give off a glimmer every now and then. Wait, are they literally angels? Let me get this straight. To start from the beginning, that thing that attacked me, that monster, you call those shadows. Yep. And these shadows have supposedly been hunting me for a while. Uh-huh. Because apparently if they catch me, it'll be bad for unspecified reasons. Yep, really bad. And you guys, whoever you are, have been combating them from the dark, from the shadows to keep me safe from harm. She nods enthusiastically. It looks like I've just about got a grip on what this whole thing is, even if it was a little sparse on details. Knowing all this, it brings me to the conclusion that I think I have no choice but to believe them. Because unless I wake up again and don't remember any of this, and nothing happens, anything like it, it is definitely not a dream. As crazy as this all sounds, I really can't deny the evidence before me. The monster was definitely real, and I have no reason to doubt these girls who destroyed that thing right before my eyes. Okay, so, what happens now? Well, now that the shadows have gotten more aggressive, I really don't think we can go back to our old job of watching you from afar. We were lucky just to barely catch that thing just now, after all. Somehow I don't like the sound of that, or what it might imply. At all. So we'll be parting ways for now, but expect us to be keeping an extremely close eye on you from now on, okay? Bye-bye for now. She gives me a wink and a wave before taking off in the other direction. Her less enthused partner simply turns her head from me with one last hook before following after her. I'm soon left completely alone within the street, whereas moments ago my entire world had been spun on its head. Did all that just happen? Jeez, all this will have to wait for later though. Right now I have a bigger focus. I have to focus on the bigger issue, being late for school. I break into a sprint as I try to make up for lost time, all the while hoping I'll never run into those two again. Alright, so I'm gonna end the video here. If you want more of this, tell me, leave a like, comment, something. But I'm still gonna do this because I enjoy this game. This game has absolutely wrecked my voice, so it's gonna be like this for probably the next week of videos. So see you guys in the next video. Bye!